So what? I'm just hosting Nelson Makamo and a few people just over at my house.
Yeah.
Like one this, really.
But how do we
So
get
so it's
better?
it's no, it's that because it also become fashionable,
Fashion.
fashionable to be within this nouveau riche
Mm.
society of aficionados of quasi. They are
It
really,
is
really
quasi.
quasi
It is
because
quasi.
all of a sudden you're a marketing manager of a beauty brand. And because your husband has made money, and all of a sudden you've been pregnant, and all of a sudden the company like, oh
You
no, no,
curate enough.
I'm a art specialist. And I'm like,
Okay.
girl, just really go wake up and really go and buy sanitary pads for the needy.
Go buy sanitary pads for the knee. We're not in any way discouraging people
I'm not
from growing.
discouraging people,
What
but
we're challenging is
for
the
me, it's
ricoffy tendency.
yeah, that, and also it is the tendencies of there are very few black people who are credible specialists in every career, whether it could be from medicine, because even in medicine, a lot of the doctors went into to medicine because it was a status thing, and they were pushed into doing that. And there are a lot of the lawyers. So even, I mean, for the past 3 decades, when Head Boys and them started, after that, how many black people were saying, what are you doing? I'm in advertising.
Yes. Yes.
10 years later, after that, what are you studying? I'm in marketing,
Marketing
and
and
PR
PR. Yes. And events.
and events.
Yes.
And
Yes.
and now all of a sudden, what are you doing? All these kids, what are you doing? I want to be, I'm at after. I want to be a film director. And what are they? Slash, slash, slash. They are stylists, they are photographer. It's always working with something, with their phones and styling things. And it's like, get a grip. So we are always trend based, career driven.
And that doesn't last.
We are not soulful, being called for our career. So I think we should start shifting that mindset with the younger ones, where they are given options. I think maybe the education system should also be a non-conforming education system that actually celebrates individuality than puts you in a box of conformity.
And forces you to rehearse and rehash.
It's the same thing. Everybody is now being forced into the fourth industrial revolution. What if you don't really, what if you hate? I'm a titan of no. For me, I refuse. On the other hand, as long as my phone can do this and do that, the other ends, bye-bye. So that on its own, being forced into systems, people are not given options anymore. We are forced into.
But what you have said, which is wonderful, though, is that you don't necessarily have to wait to be given the option. You take the option.
I make opportunities for myself. I literally sit there. It's like, what else can I do? And it's not to say what else can I do that is not being done. I can look at other people and read about the other people and learn and say, okay, they went the other way. Maybe if I try this way, it might even be much more beneficial, or might come across as much more organic.
Yes. So who inspires you?
It's a force that I don't even know. I think for me, it's the breath that I breathe when I wake up every day that inspires me. I think there's a lot of greatness around me that I find can be very toxic. Because within greatness, there's also got to do with ego.
Ego.
So I don't like putting people in boxes and putting pressure on them. It's like, oh, you're my role model.
Yeah.
I think everybody has contributed into who I am, and I take what I can take from them and I make it work for me.
Okay.
But for me, what inspires me is every morning when I wake up and that for me, that is the spirit of I'm alive. What can I do?
I have one more day.
Yeah.
To do something fantastic.
It might be I just have one day just to relax and switch off the music and just look at the sky.
That in itself.
That in itself.
Yeah. That in itself is fantastic.
So it's got nothing to do with tangible productivity. It's got to do with what your mind manifests.
Yeah.
It's got to do what your mind thinks. It's got to do what your mind plows.
So where is your mind plowing these days?
There is just so much that.
Because everyone claims that COVID gave them some new juice.
No,
so I want to know.
No, my juice has always been green. No, I think COVID just slowed me down and told me I'm not crazy. It didn't make me start from scratch.
Awesome.
It just said, look at the madness. Now, did you want to be part of that system, or you've always been part of I've always been part of a slow system.
Awesome.
Because slowness for me is being organic.
Yes.
It's not chasing.
Yes.
The dollar is not chasing the fame. It's not chasing relevance.
There's consistency, there's
consistency,
deliberateness.
There is intention.
Yes, yes.
So, because I've never chased, I've always, in my head, refined, and I've always been slow in how I perceive things.
But it's because you're deliberate, right?
Yeah. My thinking was fast, but
yes.
my deliverables were kind of very calculated according to the spirit of the moment.
Oh, there we go. So then you work at the pace of self,
not pace of self, the pace of the spirit. I don't know what I'm going to feel. That's going to make me say, that's the right time. Let me just do that. Which has been in my head.
That is so incredible, because I was having a conversation. I think the last time I was having a conversation with Khonjisa, I was saying to her the same thing, that anything I have done for money, I have lost money.
Yeah.
Which was a good awakening for me. Like, one, you've never been a chaser. If you're going to try and make yourself into something you're not, the universe is going to remind you, right? And sometimes it's just a small clap. And then the third time, it's a proper fist.
Yeah, but for me, that's another thing that I don't understand about myself. I think better when I'm broke. When I have money, I panic. When I have money, I want to give it away. When I have money,
I can see people going, "Give it to me,
yeah,
give it to me."
I swear, my mother would say all the time, from my brothers to my siblings,
yeah,
to everyone, immediately I have money, you must just go. I am much more happier with a zero in my account.
Because that is not what drives you.
That's not what drives me.
That's not what
I find money makes me very uncomfortable. Money makes me very, very insecure. Money gives me anxiety.
We are related in the sense that the instrument of money holds no value for me, because I didn't grow up in a materially comfortable home. So I know for certain that money doesn't make my life better. I also know that money doesn't make my life happier, right? What I do battle with, though, is that I do like fine things. And those take money. So that is the only tension.
But then if you had longer of fine things will come to you.
Yes.
Fine things will come to you. I've decided that it is not important that I dress up every day, and people think I dress up every day. I've decided that I can wear the same shirt every day.
Yes.
I don't really care.
Yes.
For me, it's got to do with the thread. It's got to do with the design. It's got to do with the cut.
Refinement.
And for me, I don't look at the fine things in a literal
sense.
No, quasi way.
Yes.
Of everything has to be bling and all that.
No.
And because over the years, I've managed to collect some fine things. I find that world is becoming slower and slower and slower to me. And like, okay, I'm gonna go buy a makunya, so I will wear the comedy song. So what?
Yes.
It's just another shit at the end of the day. It's like,
yes. It's something I'm putting on to
go. But it's like someone say, how? What do you mean? I was wearing pajama pants and I was like, yeah, but that shirt in Tonton is like,
in a magazine, yes.
For me to be like, okay, But if within that, but because I still work within that kind of creative space,
Yes.
which is where I am talking to, I find myself talking to
Yes.
a lot of emerging young creators.
Yes.
It is not about
The cost of the
cost.
garment.
It
is
is about the
the
passion
integrity.
and the intention of garment making.
Yes.
So when someone would be literally sitting in their sewing machine and making something for you and putting their signature there,
Yes.
it's intentional. You can feel their soul. And that's where I feel the creative spaces are sort of like shutting down and sieving all the wannabes and the wannabe wanners into the real future gods, especially African future gods of global fashion and style.
But
And
that's a
global
wonderful.
fashion and global fashion and style is not fabric only. It's got to do with architecture. It's got to do with sculpture. It's got to do with furniture making. So it's the things that were taken away from us that we are finding centuries later. There's a whole souls are turning in the graves and are giving all these new energies to the young spirits on how to regain and to take Africa on a new platform of respect.
That is so important because Africa wasn't born yesterday.
It wasn't. Africa is, that's what I always say, Africa is, as much as it's ancient, it's still very modern and daily. So, but we forgot about that because we're so colonized into and bastardized into feeling that anything European is always better than us. I mean, if you take from any references from Armani to Saint Laurent, they always took their inspiration from Africa. From Azadina Laya, who was African, to all this, we've always had greatness within us, but it had to leave the country and the continent to be celebrated for us to actually appreciate it 20, 30 years later.
But isn't it the same with diamonds? Like they're mined here, they're polished there, you come back and you buy them and quadruple them.
It's the same thing with crocodile skin and snake skin that we sell to Prada. That is all in Eisner.
Let me tell you another fact. Do you know that we export world-class oranges and the rest are fed to us minions because Outspan just says this must go elsewhere, you guys must just eat. So can you blame us for feeling like the stuff that is good comes from outside because we've been fed?
Yeah, but we still have to find a way of creating the secular fashionomics. And for me, I love using fashion because fashion is not literally clothes.
Yes.
It's what we drink.
Yes.
It's what we smell.
Yes.
It's all the seven
That's
senses
what
that
we see,
are consistently activated. So it's that. So we have to, from me being happy, also because I don't know it's fashionable, that there are more distillers. I don't know how their township distillers are with their gins.
We must taste that. Let's go on a township gin tour.
Like Soweto gin and Mamelodi gin and all that. Yeah. Let's also become imaginative, though. Because then just call it Mamelodi gin.
Yeah.
M
gin.
Yeah,
something. Give it something.
I'm excited because the whole world is looking. And no, they're not looking.
They're finally paying attention because there's nowhere else.
No, they're forced to really take off their spectacles and really say, we really messed them over and now they're coming for us.
Yes.
And they're coming for everything.
Yes. And we have to take everything. We have to take everything.
And there is a global movement about recognizing that. But I also don't like following movements because movements have got their own politics.
Yes, of course, movements have waves, right? They come, whether it's feminism, whether it is a fight against any form of injustice, these things come in waves. And as they ebb and flow, people forget and they move on to the next thing. So yeah, to your point.
Yeah, because I just feel, and also we love celebrating mediocrity. I mean, I can go on forever. I mean, I've never seen it. I refuse to watch it.
Yeah.
Black is King. I just really thought it was rubbish from the beginning. I still feel it.
I don't know what you're talking about.
That Beyonce Black is King that is shot all over Africa.
You see,
you
you and I in the
boat.
same WhatsApp group.
But for me, I have a completely different why I literally intentionally boycotted. For me, it was, how dare she? If she's not appropriating, yes, she came to motherland, yes. But within that, she still has the same power.
Yes.
For me, if they can spend so much money in doing a glorified, colorful
Yes.
infomercial
Yes.
on blackness and how king it is, you still have the same power for one day when you launch that to close down Sex Fifth Avenue and say, I want the whole floor to have every single designer that I've featured in here.
That is
For
true.
me, you don't come, it's like, no, I've got a little Bible, everyone is documented. No.
If it matters to
If it
you.
matters to you,
Yes.
give me the cash, give me the opportunity. For me, she should have done that. She should have said, yes, I've created a platform, but what can I do? Me and my husband with this millions, why can't we just open a store? Let's start with one store. Oh no, we can buy a block in Harlem. Let that be the hub for global fashion where people can buy. They can afford it. For me, it was another glorified fact.
But also, you see, because I think people get confused. If it's a black person who's doing this stuff, then everybody goes, oh, this is fantastic, it's a black person. But if it's a white person, then we're very quick to run to race, right? And we're very quick to run to gentrification. But it's also important that we call to order even people who look like us. Because if your intentions are not pure, then we also have to call you out on that. Now,
Because for me, it's about, again, going back to secular economy. You can't, and the worst part of it, I don't even think some of those designers, yes, they got that platform. I still want to see all the South African designers who can say to me, I actually have now 20 American clients from that feature.
On the basis of this,
that.
Yes.
From both the directory and being on that infomercial.
Yeah.
I'm not even going to glorify by saying documentary, it's an infomercial.
You see, it's a good thing that I don't know what you're talking about.
I have not seen
That's
it.
fantastic.
I have not seen it.
So, which then brings me to, so did you watch Black Panther? Did you see Black Panther? And what did you think of it?
I think it was an opportunity for Black people to show Walt Disney what we're capable of in telling a different story. I think it did its own round. I don't know how far the sequel will go, because for me, after that, it's like, there's only one Shaka Zulu, bye-bye.
Okay. So don't give me episode 2 and episode 3 and
No,
episode 4.
don't give me season 3 and season 4.
Yeah.
It's those 12, and that's it. Iconic. Let's do it. Bye-bye.
Whilst you're on fire, talk to me about Afrofuturism.
Well, it's for me, Afrofuturism, I think people...
What it means and what it doesn't mean.
I think it is a very warped idea, number one. The whole competition between Afrofuturism and Africanism.
Yeah.
What is Afrofuturism? Because we've always been the future, so why are we saying Afrofuturism?
Okay, so it sounds tautological.
Yeah, it is completely. It is another study that was done by some German man who is doing, what do you call it, adverts? Geology or something.
And archaeology.
Archaeology. And decided, no, I'm just going to specialize in Black people. And they also have major problems when the white professors and all that come back. And it's like, I've got this major study on you. It's like, why didn't you study yourself as a German?
Yeah.
Why coming to me?
Yeah.
So for me, it's another concocted idea that it's trying to confuse Black creativity. So
is there such a thing as African creativity? Or creativity is just creativity?
There is African creativity.
What is that?
We are the source.
Okay.
We started color, we started texture, we started architecture, we started everything that's within Africa has always been the source.
So you are okay with African creativity?
I am okay with Africanism, but I'm not okay with Afrofuturism. Because Africa is, like I said, Africa has always been ancient, but yet modern every single day.
I find it quite fascinating when people who are not African, or even Africans who don't read, because there are many of us, that we act surprised when the magic of Africa is revealed. Like, oh my God.
Oh my God.
Can you believe that? So I had occasion to sit with somebody who was actually speaking to me about Mamester Mahlangu's work and how I think it's the...
But what do you call that? Do you call it African futurism, or do you just call it it's Africanism?
It's Africanism.
Yeah, it is.
But also...
But it's also that what I'm saying.
Yes.
It is so ancient, but when you look at it every day, there's such modernity within that.
Because somebody was saying to me actually that they're using it in some schools to teach geometry because her work is quite angular. It is informed by the thesis of mathematics. She may not call it that, but you, in a modern sense, can see
mathematics.
Yes.
But then during those days, that's why I'm saying we are the epicenter and the core of creativity in every way.
It's time we started paying attention and celebrating.
But it's also, yes, I might have this whole warped thing in my head about writing and documenting, but I really think that if you're writing from a purist point of view, then you'll be heard. I just think there's a lot of people who are, what do you call them, who you can just sit them and tell them, well, they just, what do you call them? They're not even journalists, they're not even writers.
Scribes.
Yeah. They are transcribers.
Transcribers, yes.
Transcribers of moments. And there's a difference between transcribing a moment and writing. From the heart and soul of the moment.
What are you reading now?
I'm a lot of books. I'm still reading a book that is still dissecting. It's called The Making of South Africa.
Okay.
It just takes it way, way back with Mujanku and Thabo Mbeki and all. It's a very fascinating book. That's why people don't understand. Sometimes I can just be reading.
Okay.
Something completely out of my realm, according to them.
Yes.
I've started reading 13 Cents again, still at Daycare, because I was missing him, who was a friend who passed away. But I don't like reading anything right now that draws me into a corner. I think we are already cornered into social distancing and conformity and quarantine. And immediately I find myself zoning too much. I find it freaks me out. So I like reading a lot of things at the same time.
Okay.
I found that I'm a sucker for trash TV.
Okay, so what are you watching? What is trash?
A lot of trash. Every single housewife of this world I watch.
Is there like a housewife of the Popo yet? Or not?
No, because for me it's those are psychological lessons.
It's a study of human behavior, though, right? Yeah.
I'm watching old Jerry Springer.
Okay. Jerry Springer was the people fighting, yeah.
I'm watching like the Golden Girls. I'm watching like
Betty White.
Yeah, I'm watching like 227, all the old black comedies.
Oh my word. What's that thing that Jamie Foxx was in before he had money? And his hair looked like he was a guy who did a different color.
Different color, no, that's too modern for me.
Oh, okay.
No.
So you're still going that way?
No.
Yeah.
That's too modern. And I watched, there's a program that's called Google Box. Yeah. It's the most funniest thing ever. Where it's actually families who are recorded while they're watching television and their commentary. It's the most hilarious things ever. There's one Australian one and one English one. So I watch that literally every day. Even now, I really want to be home now and watching.
Okay, good. I am going to let you go.
And also, I love watching cooking shows. And not to say I cook that much, but I just find the art and the science of tickling someone's palate. It's so fascinating.
Wow, because I have a television only because it projects my movies, and my movies are still DVDs. I go to the DVD store.
I don't have a television. That's why I've got 2 phones and Wi-Fi and a laptop. So that everything is like...
Here is my box.
Yeah, but also I'm slowly getting into Netflix. It was too much of fashion.
Yes.
So I've really been into Netflix probably like the past 2 months. I've never been in Netflix. I just thought, everyone, when you open, What is Netflix? And oh goodness.
Goodbye. Yes.
So I'm slowly getting into finding my feet.
I watched a thing on Netflix the other day called The Creative Brain, which you may appreciate, because it truly, for me, creativity is not the art form. Creativity is the mind form, right? It's the ability to connect dots in new and interesting ways. And this program does just that. But
but also the most amazing thing I've discovered is called Kiri and Haji. It's a Japanese English crime series.
Okay, good. Where is this? On Netflix?
Yeah.
Okay, good. You see now.
Kiri and Haji.
Then you should also watch the one about sushi. What's his name? Somebody and or sushi. So, but basically he has a sushi bar and people come in every night and they tell different interesting stories, because I know how much you love anything Japan.
No, I'm very, and give me anything Eastern.
Yes.
I'm just very happy.
I think, you see, in my past life, I think I was French. In your past life, I think
I was Japanese or Chinese
I
or
really,
something.
really think you
Anything,
were.
I just resonate. Sometimes I can even dream in Japanese.
Look at you. So I'm about to say arigato, arigato. But before I let you go though, please tell me, because the name of this show is Full Circle, right? So what does coming full circle mean to Felipe?
This is coming full circle. Finding your voice is coming full circle, because we are so caught up in the world that we consistently suppressing our emotions and our all the seven senses, and we probably focus on one. I find the conversation that me and you just had is made me feel that I've come full circle and I'm about to start another circle within the circle. Because for me, it's not only one circle.
Yes.
You start with one, and from there it becomes another and another and another.
Yes.
So for me, the fact that I can speak my mind, unlike before where I used to write my mind, has made me feel that I've come full circle. Because before I would rely on writing so quickly because it was a very emotional experience.
Yeah.
Now I find that I enjoy the experience so that it lasts for a long time. So that as I walk through that journey, it keeps reminding me of my endurance and my tenacity and my compassion and my sage and where I want to give and where I want to make a difference and where I want to share. So for me, all that on its own is consistently, it's like I'm doing now, it's Tai Chi. It's that whole circular thing of every time you go into that, it's how do you complete it without hurting someone else?
Yes.
How do you complete it by just making someone smile?
You are a joy. You are a treasure. So thank you so much. Of course, the next time we're going to make it bigger, because I think we have to bring all those women.
We have to bring all of them.
I really think we have to. But until then, will you please stay out of harm's way?
I really think that if you pray hard enough, I believe in, that's another thing. I believe in prayer. I pray a lot.
Yes.
I pray every hour.
Yes.
People are not aware that I'm praying.
Yes.
I just have to close my eyes, and it is because of a specific number.
Got it.
I was born on the 13th. I was born on Friday the 13th.
Yes.
So 13 always resonates with, every time I open my phone or I look somewhere, there's 13, I have to do a little prayer in my head. So because I pray a lot, it could happen. For me to be a nice coming to full circle moment with Zah and 13 of her women.
It's going. Don't even worry about it. Like this COVID thing is not going to keep us down for long. And I really look forward to the next time, because we are going to make it happen.
But it also, it's got nothing to do with women only. I mean, like for instance, the years that I've known Mona, for me, a woman is not only a figure. There are men who are considered women.
Yes.
There'll always be men. It's the years I've known Muna. It's the years I've known Odysseus. It's the years I've known Angela McKinnon.
Yeah.
So for me, it's those women who are
Yes.
men as well, who've contributed in my sanity.
It's that energy, right? They bring.
Yeah, but it's also an energy of transparency.
Yes.
It's an energy of I'm not right all the time.
Yeah.
It's an energy of wanting to learn. It's an energy of let's speak about it.
Yes.
Mastamdi.
Izawukwenzeka.